Alright, everybody, we're reading currently Drag Race Due to the Elite Four Part 5. Welcome on in. My name is Mia Easy. It's so good to have you here today. And we're going to be reading some fanfic. This is written by Uncle Deadly, our gorgeous and stunning friend, icon, and legend. So let's read this fanfic together, everybody. Alright, ready? Previously on Drag Race Due to the Elite Four, Mia Easylay, Pokemon drag trainer extraordinaire, arrived in Hartford City, home of the final gym in the Nanacut Pokemon League. There, she met Kenya Monehart, a stunningly glamorous drag trainer who she found herself unable to stop thinking about. After a terrible storm, Mia and Kenya found themselves recruited by Professor Charter to help him stop the source of the storm, a legendary Pokemon, the one that had saved Nanacunt from calamity centuries ago. Teaming up with her best friend and rival, Ivana, and her ex, Peter, god damn it, I forgot about that, sigh, they ascended Mount Furzel and faced off against a legend, a Dynamaxing shiny Mega Rayquaza. Now that totally wasn't overkill and an explanation of an author's prerogative. With Kenya's strategy and Mia's belief in her Pokemon, even one she was surprised Uncle Deadly gave her. I mean, she's never even used a Weavile in a playthrough before, so why does she even have one? Not that she wouldn't use one, but couldn't it at least have been shiny? I never would have used a Weavile. I don't think I ever would. I don't really like Sneasel. I don't think I'd ever use a Weavile. And I think Sneasler is even worse. Huh. We'll figure it out. Oh, where was I? Oh, right. I mean, Mia defeated and captured Rayquaza. But then, Professor Charter and his mod squad showed up, dressed all funky and revealing the biggest twist since the chocolate bars in Drag Race Season 14. Professor Charter was the game's big bad all along. How will Mia get out of this one? Find out in Drag Race 2 to the Elite Four, Part 5, a new TLC chapter. Oh my god, this is gonna hurt to read. I'm so excited. I said, hand the Pokeball over, Mia, Professor Charter said. He did the cliche anime thing, where villain or anti-hero holds out their palm, like they're enticing you over to the dark side. But it didn't work on Mia. Maybe if he had offered her some cake. She had really craved the funfetti cake she hadn't gotten on her birthday this year. That, or a strong moral compass, kept her from giving in. No way! I don't know what your deal is, but there's no way I'm handing over this Pokemon. He and I are gonna be friends, and I don't think you're gonna even invite him to camp and make curry or puffins with him. I don't even think you're gonna invite him to camp and make a curry or a puffin with you, Mia shouted back. You tell him, Mia! Ivana cheered near her. Mia suddenly recalled she wasn't alone, that Kenya and Peter and Ivana were there with her. Wait, Ivana, aren't you with them? Wait, what? No, I'm Team Camp! I don't know what they are, Ivana said. Yeah, we're not Team Camp, Mod Chris said. That's a common misconception. This is more of like an Aether Foundation or a Macrocosmos thing. We just use Team Camp to further our goals, Charter said, laughing. Again with the evil scientist corporation reveal. This has been done so many times lately. What's next? The real evil is capitalism? Mia's eyes rolls practically had its own eye roll. Could be worse, Kenya said. They could be Team Aqua. Oh, look at us. We're gonna make a new lake. We're totally scary. Oh, that one hurt. Alright, but Archie was kinda hot, Mia said back. Oh, totally. He could get some, Kenya agreed. She licked her lips in a way that made Mia think of all kinds of distracting things about Archie and Kenya. Silence! Charter sounded. Hand me the Pokemon, Mia. Hand me the Pokemon, Mia. You can't fight us. Your Pokemon are too weak after all the battles getting up here. Ha! Ha! Your mods were healing our Pokemon after every battle. Oh, no, I get it now, Ivana said. They weren't. Ha! Of course! We only gave them a tiny bit of potion to make you think that they were healed, Britt sneered. She threw out a Pokemon, a tall and imposing Empoleon. Yeah, my doctorate is in dimensional physics, not medicine, Chris said, throwing out a Haunter. You four are about to get stomped if you don't cooperate, Allison said, releasing a Serena with taller and sharper than normal heels. Why did you do this to my mod team? Where's Digo and Bijou? Or Moonlight, even. Professor Charter released his own Pokemon, a towering Aggron, all grown up for the little Aeron Mia used to watch him catch in the introduction to the Pokemon Trainer video back in his lab. The one that they told her all, the one that told her all about the joys of the Pokemon world, and that had asked her if she was a boy or a girl. Come to think of it, that video had led to her becoming both the drag icon and Pokemon trainer she was today. Mia's hand tightened around the Pokeball in her hand. She couldn't believe this horrible man was going to taint her precious memories. She couldn't stand for it, and she wouldn't have to. She dug something out of her pocket and clipped it to the ball. Fine, Professor Charter, you want the legendary Pokemon? You can have it. Stormy, go! Mia threw out the Pokeball. From it burst out the shiny Rayquaza. A tiny soothe bell jangled around the Pokemon's neck. Those bad people are trying to steal you, Stormy. Together we can stop them. The mods laughed. Ha 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 ha. We saw you battle, Mia. That Pokemon is too weak to battle. Shows what you know, bitch. Mia held up the Pokeball, mostly pink with 2 ivory swirls and a pale blue button. Heal Ball, bitches. Stormy Mega Evolve. I put the Rayquaza in a Heal Ball, so it's completely healed up. The attention to detail. It hurts to laugh, and I didn't even get Botox. This is painful. Purple light around the stone throne behind Mia pulsed outward and gathered around Rayquaza, who grew big and even more menacing. This is why I knew not to entrust a legendary Pokemon to children, Charter said. What? I'm not a kid, Mia fumed. I'm in my 20s. Ivana coughed. Fine, Mia coughed out her real age. Not a child. You certainly act like one, Charter said. Mia stood speechless. Save the reading for the professionals, Kenya said, stepping up. She looked at the mods. Y'all are really villains? Like, what the fuck is up with that? Charter continued to rant. The Pokemon has the power to reshape the region. If it uses its power too much, it'll rip apart the barriers between worlds. If we could study it, we might be able to break new barriers of exploration. Why wouldn't we want to do that? Why do you work for him? Mia said, interrupting the professor. Internship credit for college? Chris shrugged. College loan payments? Britt sighed. I was saving up money to buy a Switch. It was either this or bagging up items at the Pokemart, said Allison. Those sound like totally valid reasons for being evil, Mia mocked. Chris shrugged. I also really like the costume. So why did you send us to capture it so you could come and steal it from us just to catch it for yourself, Mia said. Charter huffed. If you hadn't noticed, I'm not much of a battler. I'm all science, research, like my team. Oh, Mia said, body jerking slightly as she realized what that meant. Well, alright, come and get it if you really want it that badly. Really? Charter asked. No, God, you're dumb. Mia turned her head to Kenya. Why do all these dorks keep coming to me and demanding my shiny Pokemon? This guy's worse than Dylan. Did she just call me a dork? Charter said to Chris, who shrugged, not really caring. Well, if you're such a bad battler, this should be easy. Come on, Stormy, use Dragon Pulse. He gathered the energy around his mouth and fired a pulse across the ground. It knocked the opposing Pokemon backwards. All 4 Pokemon collapsed. Damn, that really was easy, Mia said, unable to hide her smile. That's alright, Mia. I wasn't expecting a Pokemon battle to be the way to beat you, Professor Charter said. He smiled also, but more wickedly. He reached into his lab coat and he drew out a gun! What the fuck? Kenya shouted. What? You can't- a gun? This is a kid's game! No, this is an adult fanfic of a kid's game. Rules are different. Mia looked towards the camera, daring Uncle Deadly to explain himself. Honestly, he couldn't. Professor Charter did this all on his own. Even authors can't control their characters sometimes. Professor Charter cocked the gun! I'm gonna piss myself! Whoa there, Professor, Chris said. He grabbed the professor's gun arm from behind. Yeah, Britt said, kicking him where it really hurt. He doubled over in pain. I know, it's a fanfic because Britt can't kick. Consider this my resignation, Allison said, karate chopping the gun from his hand. I mean, once you give me my final paycheck, then I'll have enough to buy that Switch. You saved me, Mia gasped. No cool outfit is worth this, Chris said, struggling to hold back the professor. Go! We'll hold him back as long as we can, said Britt. How? You're blocking the exit, Mia said, calling back her new Pokemon into the purple ball. I got that, Mia. I called a taxi, Peter said. He covered his eyes with his hand and looked up. A massive shadow Pokemon overheard. It was a Tropius carrying a large metal container suspended from a harness. Well, thanks, I guess, for not being totally evil, Mia said as she grabbed the door to the cab. Hey, if you want some real work, I could use an assistant at my drag shows. Administrative stuff, backstage. If you need a place to live, there's a basement at my dad's. Mia! Kenya shouted. Think about it, Mia said, and Kenya's hand pulled her into the cab. The 4 trainers hopped into the car, and the dinosaur took off. Mia hated flying in the trophy cavernous. Okay. In the trophy cavernous, she did not understand how a brontosaurus with palm leaves on its back could fly. Still, it was the only way around without a fly HM mule. Where are we heading? Kenya asked. Where do you all want to go? I'm not planning to go back to the lab anytime soon, so I can go anywhere, Peter said. Mia gave it some thought. She'd been wanting to shiny hunt for a Farfetch'd on Route 7 for a while. She hadn't given that Pokemon much thought before, but recently she couldn't stop thinking how amazing the Pokemon was, and she'd love to get a shiny one. She also needed a Water Stone still to evolve her Staryu. Starmie would be great if she went up against a Ground-type trainer. Oh, we should probably go back to Hartford and finish our gym battle, Mia said, looking at Kenya. Tropicabana. Oh. There was an S at the end. I got confused. Sorry, it was Mia hated flying in Tropicabana. Tropicab-Anna. Okay, sorry, there was an S by the end. So Tropicabanas. Okay, I get it. Thank you. Hartford it is, Peter said, and tapped 3 times on the roof of the cab to signal to the Tropius. It cried out and swooped down the mountain and towards the rest of Nanakut. Mia stared out the window as they swooped, watching for the moment when the city would start to render, and she could make out details. She startled as she felt a hand on her knee. Hi, Kenya said from beside her in the cab. Mia smiled back, unsure what to say as Butterfreeze fluttered around in her stomach. Remember when the story was just about us? You and I in a battle to be the very best? It's been a weird few days, Mia agreed. I was thinking, I know we're gonna go kick Clementine's ass in a rematch, but afterwards I was thinking it was time to take you out on a date. Just the 2 of us, no exes, no rivals, no villainous speeches. I like the way that sounds, Mia said. She really did. Do you have a place in mind? Honestly, I'm pretty sure the only restaurant in towns are the ones that serve you or your Pokemon treats that trigger stat changes, but I'm sure we'll find something. Mia set her hand, her dainty, delicate, tiny, much smaller than the other dragon trainers in CT's hands, on Kenya's meaty hands, and squeezed. Before they knew it, the cab set down in the middle of the street in front of the Pokemon Center. There was some scaffolding around the left half, where the storm had damaged some of the structure, but out front hung a large sheet painted, I assure you, where open. This is where I leave you, Peter said. I think we can all agree this cameo has gone on far too long and has been awkward for Mia. I believe in you and I'm rooting for you. Go for the championship, and Kenya, I'm rooting for you too. He winked and walked away. I'm off to do some training! I have a long way to go to catch up to you, Mia! You haven't seen the last of your rival, or of Team Camp! Ivana cheered and she took off down the street. Alone at last, Kenya said, turning her full focus on Mia. What should we do first? Well, I announced on my Discord schedule that today we would be advancing the plot, but I was thinking of going back to the cave off Route 4 and shiny hunting a Wimpod. I'm still close to being below odds. Or maybe I will go and work on collecting more of those silver oysters near New Winden so I can get the evolution items for my Clamperl. Maybe I can poll my followers to see what they think. Oh, you didn't mean that, Mia said. Damn, girl, you could really not help yourself getting distracted by all these side quests. What I meant was, what should we do to prepare for us to get our 8th badges, Mia? The pair quickly healed up their Pokemon and made some changes to their teams in the Pokemon Center, where Nurse Joy thanked them again for their help. And Nurse Goose lurked around, but didn't say much. We see you there, Goose. Say something. They headed across town towards the Anthenium Pokemon Gym, and as they walked, the sky began to turn dark as twilight fell across the town. Had it really been a full day since they left town to go and battle the legendary? Or was the day-night cycle just really short in this game? And we lost? Mia said, looking around. Are we lost? Mia said, looking around. She didn't recognize the streets. She turned around and looked behind her, and she couldn't see the Pokemon Center anymore. I don't think so. We went the right way. We took Rowan Ave to Juniper Street, and we just turned down Oak Lane. No, wait. This is Elm Street. Maybe we are lost. Let's turn back, Kenya said. Mia tapped her Pokeballs to make sure they were in place as she turned back up on one intersection. I knew the average population of Pokemon cities is like 10, but don't the streets feel a lot more empty? Mia said. Kenya agreed. Grabbing Mia's hands protectively, it made Mia feel a tiny bit better. As they walked, they came up on a row of buildings clearly damaged by the storms. One of them was a restaurant that was lit up, the only shop on the street that looked open. It was under a massive sign that said, Hippopotas Hoagies. Hippopotas Hoagies. That fucking other Hippowdon Hoagies. It doesn't look like much, but maybe this will be open late and we can come here after a gym battle, Kenya offered. I could murder a massive sandwich. Maybe, Mia said. She was craving sushi again. She looked over the signs of the doors which read, Open Late and Fusion Cuisine and Home of 1,000 Subs, with pictures of an Italian sandwich, an Italian curry sandwich, and a banh mi sandwich, and a burrito sandwich. Weird. Before Mia could process this, she was distracted. In the distance, someone screamed. Ah! Okay, something is seriously going on, Mia said. What do you think? Mewtwo? Darkrai? Some Ultra Beasts? Kenya asked. Maybe capturing Stormy did something to balance the world, to the balance of the worlds. Should we check it out? Kenya asked. I mean, logic and reason would say, fuck no, but we're the protagonist, and that's what we do in Pokemon games. Mia sighed with resignation. They continued down the street more cautiously. They turned a corner and they found a field of flowers. Dead ones. In the center was a ring of wooden benches and a small campfire. 2 of them were occupied. Oh, thank goodness. Mia and Kenya approached. As they began to check out the details of the 2 figures, they realized they were 2 fellow drag queens. One with heavy black eyeshadow and the thinnest nose contour, and a blonde bombshell, full, luxurious lips. Mia had to admit their makeup was gorgeous and looked impossible for her to recreate effectively. Oh, thank goodness. New people at last, the first queen said. Did you hear that scream, Mia asked? Oh, yeah, that was my other sister. It's okay, Mia Easylay. She'll be back eventually, the second one said. How did you know my name? She pointed above Mia. Usernames are always above our heads. Oh, god damn it. Mia tried to look up but saw nothing. She looked to Kenya and she saw above her head it said Kenya Moanheart floating above her. The other 2 queens were labeled Evel Queen and Deer. Not this. Deadly, you put Evel Queen and Deer in a Pokemon fanfic? What the fuck is a Dead by Daylight lobby? Oh, fuck, damn it, I just read the next sentence. What? Wait, why are your usernames over your head? Oh, no! No! We're glad you're here. Since you're new survivors, you must know the new killer really well then, Deer said. I have no idea what you're talking about, said Mia. Eve blinked. The killer? Whenever I don't know what any of this is gonna be. The killer. Whenever the entity brings a new killer in this dimension, he brings new survivors as well. People who faced the killer in the past and survived. None of us have ever seen the Reaper before, so we assumed you 2 had. Is this some kind of sort of horror movie serial killer thing? Kenya asked. I hate this. Oh my god. Deer looked towards Kenya. Deer looked like Kenya had grown a 3rd breast or was speaking mock Swedish. Yes, exactly. Alright, I'm out. I don't know what we walked into, but this is a horror movie, and it's me and 3 white girls. I'm out, Kenya said. Mia, I'll see you when the fanfic gets back to Pokemon. Mia kissed Kenya kissed Mia's hand and then vanished from the room. Oh damn, she DC'd. They're gonna hurt our chances for survival, Deer said, standing up. Come on, Mia, time to go. What? Go where? Kenya! Kenya! Drop those exclamation point Kenyas in the chat. She's gone, now we should be too. The Reaper is coming, Eve said, dragging Mia away from the campfire. Soon, Mia found herself running around the other two. They came upon a deserted building, a Pokemon Center even more destroyed than when Mia last visited. Split up and find totems or gens, Deer directed, acting very in charge. Mia didn't know what exactly either of this meant. Totem Pokemon? This wasn't a Lola. Behind her, Mia heard rustling in the bushes. Was it a Pokemon? Something told her she didn't want to find out, so she kept running. Mia, over here! Help me repair this generator, Deer called out. Mia ran towards her voice and found the way. Too pretty for manual labor, drag queen kneeling before a diesel generator that was chugging away. Mia could see it was broken, but that she somehow had the skills to repair it. She knelt down and started working on it. After a few seconds, she began to feel confident, and then the generator blew up in her face. I don't... Oh, it's okay, that happens. You gotta keep going, Mia. We have 4 more of these to repair after this. Then we have to try to escape, Deer explained. That's it. 5 generators and we can get out of this world, Mia said, slipping into the groove of generator repairs. Had she somehow gone to a community college trade school in her sleep? Then what? Oh, then we go back to the campfire, and then we wait to be summoned back by the entity to do this all over again, Deer said. The generator suddenly was repaired. Great work, but now... Mia never got to hear what was next. As a wet, squelching noise interrupted Deer, Mia looked over to where a long metal scythe was sticking out of Deer's chest. Surprisingly, she looked like it didn't bother her at all that much as the blade slid out of her. Run, Mia, hide! Then come get me from the hook once he leaves me alone, Deer instructed. Mia stood to run, eyes drifting up to the figure in the ratty brown cloak wielding the scythe. The air throomed and buzzed above. Something deep inside Mia wanted to cry. She turned and ran. The killer followed Mia, moving slightly faster than Mia somehow. Mia ran through a series of broken walls within the Pokemon Center. Eve called out from somewhere, "Drop the pallet on him!" Mia looked around and saw a wooden pallet. She didn't get it, but she knocked it over. Coincidentally, it fell right as the Reaper arrived there. It stumbled back, stunned. I don't understand what is happening. I don't know what Dead by Daylight is. Okay, you know what? This is dumb. I'm not some final girl horror movie trope. I'm Mia Easylay, best Pokemon trainer in the Nanakut region. You know what dumb serial killer can't deal with? A 442-pound millipede. Cove Cuddlebug, protect mommy. Scolipede burst out of his Pokeball and landed on the pallet, crushing it. He wiggled 6 of his front legs merrily before noticing the cloaked figure. Come on, you're clearly you're clearly another weird cameo. Show yourself already. Who are you? Scythe, it hissed. Mia's blood ran cold. No, not that. Not her. Come on, you're clearly another cameo. Show yourself already. Who are you? Scythe, it hissed. Mia's blood ran cold. No, not that. Not her. The blade sliced through the cloak and it fell on the ground. What stood, or rather hovered, in front of Mia now was a 6-foot-tall mantis, dark green with blood-red neck and arms that sparkled as she revealed herself. Scyther! She repeated, slashing out at Cuddlebug. She looked closer and could see all the wounds all over the shiny Scyther. Spider bites and electrical burns. Cuddlebug spat poison at it, but Heather, the first shiny Pokemon Mia had ever failed to catch, slashed right through it like it was nothing. Its blade flashed again, and Cuddlebug fell to the side, unconscious. What? There's spider bites from Vivid. Oh my god, Cuddlebug fell to the side unconscious. Sigh! Heather laughed. She began to glow. What was this? Evolution? The Pokemon grew and flashed. Its body grew larger. Its wings were gone. Her carapace shimmered in the light lilac hue, although still blood red at the neck and arms. Her blade arms were longer and more curved, and a second smaller pair of blade arms grew from her torso. She looked almost like a skeleton of Scyther. The new Pokemon roared in pain and terror. Mia flailed and hit the Pokedex button on her iBerry. For a second, it pulled up no berry, just a series of question marks. Then the screen distorted for a second and an entry appeared. Reaper, the Grim Reaper Pokemon, a Nanocut bug ghost type, said to evolve when Scyther undergoes deep personal trauma. It is unlocked when the Scyther kills 20 people in cold blood, deemed as too bloody by Game Freak. This Pokemon was supposed to never be released, but well, apparently someone didn't get the memo and had to go and traumatize a poor Scyther. Good going, jackass! No! Heather, no, I'm sorry! Mia cried, barely registering the rather rude Pokedex entry. I didn't mean to kill you. Please, please don't. Reaper raised her arm. Mia reached into her bag as she stepped backwards. She didn't know what she was reaching for, but she pulled out a soggy ball of mud. She threw it directly into Heather's face. Sploosh. It smacked her right between the eyes and coated both with wet mud and stunned her worse than the pallet drop had. Wait, that's what those are for? I wish someone told me that's why I was collecting so much mud. And how did I keep it so tidy in my purse? Reaper began to recover. Mia threw more mud. Then, when it was stunned again, she ran around the Pokemon. Before it could recover again, she threw a Dusk Ball. 1, 2, 3. The ball settled. Mia picked up the ball. A tear slipped down her face. I'm sorry, Heather. I wasn't how I imagined finding you again. I imagined it would be a community day where I went around with a lot of friends to see where I could find you first. Or maybe time travel to an ancient past to find your ancestor long before I killed you. I don't want to find you dead and haunting this fucked up game. Seriously, why do gay people and love drag queens love this shit so fucking much? The ball began to shake. It jumped out of Mia's hand and rolled around towards a nearby desk where the PC terminal stood. The screen shattered. Something happened to the ball. It glitched. Pixels distorted. The walls around her began to glitch as well. The Pokemon leapt out of the ball. Pieces of shattered ball flew like sharpnel around the room. Hovering in mid-air in the middle of a devastated Pokemon Center was a tall Pokemon whose body was made entirely of glitches and rending issues. It flickered between Reaper's form and this new one. Mia gasped again. Missing No! Will Mia survive this encounter with the infamous game killer Missing No? Will her save file get corrupted before she captured it? Will she ever find Kenya again, or is she gone forever? Will Mia ever figure out how she's gonna get so good at it, how she got so good at generator repair? And will she finally give in to her Stream Queen calling and change games to Dead by Daylight? Find out next time on Mia by Deadlight. Please like and comment on the video, and you can watch me on twitch.tv/MiaEasyLay.